Hi, Aigerim. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, David. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Chocofood. It's a very good name. I don't think I'll forget, right? Very easy to remember. So Chocofood is a part of the Choco family. And you explained to me it's looks like having a lot of business, right? E-commerce, online travel, payment, food delivery, meditech, e-grocery, and B2B logistics. Sounds like the business of an Asian conglomerate. Would you like to introduce a little bit about your group and the business you are heading now?
So Chocofamily is a holding consisting of 10 projects, 10 companies. They range from online travel agency to B2B delivery. So as I said, it's payment, it's food delivery, dark stores, e-grocery, medtech, very diverse portfolio. I lead Chocofood. It's an online food delivery platform. It's an online food aggregator, analog of Uber Eats, Grab in Southeast Asia, and Grubhub in the US. Yes, so
What kind of a meditech are you engaged in? Meditech.
it's an online doctor's appointment and
Okay.
teleappointments. Yeah, it's not necessarily. I mean, it's part of the medtech, but it's not in the in development of medical apparatus or something like that. No, it's on the online advisory appointments.
Okay. How about the B2B logistic? What is it,
Oh,
B2B
B2B
logistic?
logistics. It's a new product. It has amazing potential. So currently, what we know, right, and observe is that every company wants to develop their delivery service.
Yes.
So most of the, let's say, restaurants, right, they
Right.
now rely on aggregators such as Chocofood, Uber Eats, but let's say the grocery stores, the drug stores, and all of them need delivery. And what we are providing is that we are providing our fleet of couriers that they can use to deliver their products the same day, maybe within 30 minutes. So we are helping these businesses to grow their delivery business without losing their brand identity, without relying on aggregators. We providing them a platform that they can use without losing their brand.
Yeah.
When we do the delivery.
Actually, this is very popular. Is a fast-growing business around the world, in Asia, in other part of the world. But there are two different type of B2B logistics solution. One is a startup company working with multiple, I mean, hundred thousands of owner of the car and trucks. So just they using their platform, they connect them with B2B customer, and then those truck owner drivers, and they can provide a best solution to deliver the goods and services. But
Like a
in your
marketplace.
yeah, but how about you? You're owning your own vehicle
Yes.
fleet or your own
We
in
don't
your
own. We have our couriers, and we work them as individual contractors.
right?
So they are not in our payroll, let's say.
They are
And
not
our
your payroll. They are not your payroll.
Yes. So what we do is that we provide technology to these businesses where they can get on-demand last mile delivery service
Okay.
from us.
So-
Yeah, so our job is to provide them last mile service on demand, which is amazing because these businesses, they don't have to reserve anything, any slot when they need it. We provide the courier and we'll just do the delivery under 30 minutes.
Yeah, sounds like your group covering most popular startup business in the world. All the things, except for the ride-hailing business, right?
Yes, we thought about it. Right now, the market is dominated by Russian ride-hailing app Yandex, which actually kind of acquired Uber in Kazakhstan. But now Didi entered Kazakhstan, and we're just observing this competition between them. It's an interesting times.
Yeah. How about the online travel? Is it providing services for hotel booking and etc.?
It's mainly for air tickets
Yeah,
and railway tickets. Yeah, we
I
are
see.
number one in Kazakhstan, and our share has grown like around 10 percentage points with coronavirus because most
Right.
of the offline agencies they they stopped operating.
Yeah, hotel and then the air ticket transportation booking service is also the fast growing.
Not
Yeah,
hotels, not yet, but we are thinking about it because in
right.
terms of like Kazakh market, hotels, they are not, let's say, it has some potential, but maybe not to the extent of like bookings. So we just leverage whatever we leverage booking, we leverage some Russian aggregators content for in our service. We don't do the content ourselves.
Yeah. What is the positioning of a Choco family group? For example, I'm not sure whether you have understanding in Korea. Korea is there is a group startup group called the Naver. They have everything, right? They have a online search engine, and then like what they have a messenger like WhatsApp. I'm not sure whether you heard of Line actually, and then they have all different business within the group, so they are considered a technology giant or conglomerate, something like that. But their market cap almost 100 billion US dollar. So what is the positioning of a Choco Family Group? But the business portfolio looks like a very, very comprehensive.
Yeah, so our positioning is that we want to touch the lives of Kazakh people every day. So wherever they need every day, we have it.
Mhm.
The thing is, we are not a bank because I think the latest news is that Kazakh bank Kaspi, they went to London Stock Exchange and they're valued around $6 billion. It's the biggest, I would say, IT company in Kazakhstan. That, however, is based on the banking services that they have. So from the banking, they move towards fintech, to marketplace. They even have their own OTA, online travel agency, within their platform. So Choco Family, we're not a bank, but we are building these products that people will use every day. That's our aim.
Yes, yes, yeah. Recently in Korea, one of the technology group launched the online digital bank, and then they, I think, about to go IPO. They received a subscription in terms of first valuation. They're the biggest among the old financial group. They have a substantial business as big as other commercial bank. Commercial bank, you can imagine their asset is a 500 billion US dollar and the
Uh,
net capital is a 50 million US dollar. But in terms of market cap, is very, very small because unpopular business, traditional banking. So that's online banking. They started a few years ago, but their market cap, I expected market cap is bigger than any bank in Korea. So that's a trend. That's not only in Korea; it'll happen everywhere in the world. So you may speak to
yes,
your colleague. You need to launch the internet bank or online bank to beat all the large bank in
we
the
are
United
just
States.
thinking about it. We are thinking about providing financial services.
Hmm.
It's in our plan because we understand that in order to buy anything from our platform, people need money, and why don't we give them money
Right.
to
The
spend
money.
on our platform? Yeah.
Yeah, like I had a conversation with I talked with a CEO of a largest Nepalese conglomerate, and then you can imagine a large conglomerate, large group. Usually, they have a business portfolio in every traditional sector, right? Banking, real property, telco, and all those things. So it's a time for the startup come up with the disrupt that traditional sector. Even though those traditional sector in terms of asset, there's I mean tens billion or 100 billion, but they are very traditional. They never change the business model, right? So maybe it's a right time for a startup
That's why
change.
they acquire startups, right? Because there are some young, ambitious guys who want to change the world, and it's easier to acquire them rather than
Right.
build them
Uh,
themselves.
yeah, I mentioned we talk about that a lot, but the Microsoft, Google, I mean, all those global tech company, tech group, they acquired a lot of startup, but startup is died as soon as they are get merged into the large group because very different culture, right?
I don't know. It depends on from the perspective. I don't think they died in a sense. Let's say WhatsApp was acquired by Facebook. It
Skype,
didn't.
Skype,
Uh,
Skype's gone,
of
right?
course, there are some stories, but there are also good stories, right?
Of course, of course. I'm not arguing, but people say that this is popular topic. Is once the company grow, they started from the scratch as a startup, but once they grow up the business, in order to scale, they need to define the process and the manual for everything. Then is a startup culture doesn't fit that kind of process? That's a challenge. I'm not saying it's a black and white. Yeah.
Yeah, it's challenging. I think so. It's very important for the acquiring company, why they acquire the startups, right? For their product, for their minds, for their people. If they want to further gain, further continue gaining benefits from that, from those companies, they have to create maybe more nurturing environment for them, for those companies to thrive within big conglomerate. I think
Yeah,
that
if you were, this is interesting topic. We can talk about the whole day. I mean, because I discuss the same topic with so many investor or owner of large group, they confess, they admit to some extent, right?
right. So Chocofamily, we're in the market for 10 years. There's so many competitors that entered the market, especially from Russia, right? Russia is our biggest neighbor, our big brother.
Yes.
We always look at them, we emulate them, we get the best practices. But the thing is, no matter how many companies from Russia entered our market, Chocofamily was able to defend its position every time. That's why we remain startup, because every time we had to reinvent, renovate in order to defend our position. It happened to the online travel agency. It happened in our, we have a service, Groupon, something like Groupon, but it's called Choco Life. So even Big Lion, it's a Russian Groupon, kind of entered the market. So we were able to defend our positions all the time. But that kind of gave us the agility, you know, agility to re-innovate all the time. That's why we stayed as startup. And nowadays, let me tell you, like in Chocofood, we have 3 major international players who entered the market back in 2019. So it's Yandex, it's like Uber Eats, but Russian. We have World, it's a Finnish startup, and we have Glovo, the Spanish startup, that are huge now in Latin America, in Europe. And these guys entered the market back in 2019. And now we are going through this story again, you know, of reinventing our business. We're doing the same. We are, of course, we are adapting their business models, you know, the things that we like that they have in their model to ours. So that's why I say that we're a startup, because we have to, in this globalized world, you have to be stay relevant. You cannot say that this is my market
Right.
and this is how it's going to be, because every time there are new players coming in, and yeah.
They don't know
So
how to, yeah, even though that they are, I mean, huge giant in the overseas international market, but they don't know how to navigate the jungle in Kazakhstan, right?
well, you know what? That was the misconception. I think I'm the
Really?
CEO. Yeah, so I'm the CEO from March of this year, right?
Right.
So these guys entered the market back in 2019 before the coronavirus.
Russian.
Russian, the Finnish, and the Spanish guys.
Okay.
And we thought, like, no, it's okay. I mean, we know how the business operates here. We
Yes.
know, you know, we're better. But it didn't happen as quite as we expected. The guys that came, they did some things really good, and
Okay.
we started losing our positions. And what I can say is that right now Chocofood is completely different from Chocofood that was 1 year before, because we changed so much our product, our platform. We have reinvested back into the IT and development. We have like increased our staff in IT and development twice. But what is the challenge here is that all these companies, international companies, they have these huge campuses of IT and development back in, I don't know, in Spain and Finland and Russia and China. And you know, they build one product that they scale to every other country, right? And now here in Kazakhstan, we don't have that kind of access to IT talent. You know, we
Yes.
hire people from Kazakhstan, and the thing is, it gets more challenging. It gets more challenging, but thanks to our HR brand of Chocofamily in Kazakhstan, we are able to attract and retain the best IT talent in Kazakhstan now. And also after the coronavirus, most of the IT developers, they started working remotely for European companies where they receive salary in euro, and it's completely different story. And we had to also increase, I don't know, the payment rates, but we understand that this is the market. We are here for long. I mean, we are going to stay here, and that's why we are ready to invest, first of all, into people, you know, into people in IT and development. That's the challenge that local
I
businesses
see.
actually
Yeah,
encounter.
then actually that was a part of the question I'm going to ask later. Yeah, so but I can ask that question later. I saw that you studied in Singapore.
Yes, I got
So
my bachelor's degree in computer science.
yes, did you have any culture shock between the Singapore and then Kazakhstan?
Singapore is my second love. My first love is Kazakhstan, but second, Singapore is my. I love that country, no matter what people say, how it's regulated. But the country is like the story of Lee Kuan Yew. I have read all of his books and watched all of his videos. It's very inspiring, especially for countries like Kazakhstan
Make change,
who
right?
reach that kind of
Yeah, make
development.
change. Mm.
It's great.
Yes,
Uh,
he like 60, 70 years ago, Singapore was a tiny fish village, right?
yes.
Most one of the poorest place in the world, together with Korea. Korea is 90/60. I think GDP per capita like a $50. Korea's GDP per capita. So
Yeah, so how it happened? Because you had people smart,
the
hardworking.
same, also the like a little bit like a development dictator type leader, same as Lee Kuan Yew. We used to have a
Yeah,
Mr. Park Chung-hee. He's a dictator. He's a military guy, but we call it that development dictator, right? He's not exploiting people all the time, but he have a clear goal to develop growth economy, same as Lee Kuan Yew. So quickly grow the business. I mean the country.
yeah, yeah. Maybe I mean I have some my own views about the politics, but I don't want to touch that topic now. But yes, it's interesting that uh, dictatorships in a form can be beneficial for the company, but I believe in the short term,
Yeah.
like at the start when you need
Yes.
to start
Doesn't need
growing.
to be dictator. It doesn't need to be dictator. What I'm saying is maybe is a strong leader, right? Strong
Yeah.
leader.
So let me tell you that, like my first, it's not a shock, but so in Singapore, right, when you sit in the cafes or in food courts, um, people that do the cleaning, they are around 80 years old, and that was the first uncomfortable thing that I experienced, but it was only for a short period, because after that, when I started talking to local people and understand their stories, is that Singapore is very it's a they have a different, I guess, attitude towards people's abilities. So even the Lee Kuan Yew himself said that, like, if working is good, So for example, in Asian or Central Asian culture, like people who are old, they are not supposed to work. They have their pension. They look after their grandkids. They have this very calm and life. But in Singapore, people work until they're old,
Yeah,
and it's
Chinese
okay.
Chinese style, also Asian style. I want to work. I want to work when I become much older than now. I want to work. I
Yeah,
don't
and
want
also
to. Yeah,
sorry, it's just about my lovely Singapore. And I remember, like, Singapore is not only Singaporeans, it's mostly they have the best talent from the Asia, right? It's the
right.
Chinese, Indian, Vietnamese, Indonesians, all of these countries. And I like studying at the university was very challenging, because
That's what actually my question, because
it was
too
very
too
competitive.
intensive or even work ethic probably too stressful for the people from other country, other culture. What
Um,
about you?
yeah, but like, for example, the story, right? I wake up at no, I come from nightclub at 6 a.m. and people are already studying,
Right.
and I know that, oh my god, I have to be different now, because this is now how people do study here. And then I went to exchange to Scotland. It was completely relaxed. It was so
Mm,
it was
yeah.
better. But what I think, like, Singapore has taught me is the hard work,
Discipline.
is the
Discipline.
discipline and hard work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
discipline. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So s- uh, uh, based on I mean I understand what kind of business is the Choco Family Group is running now. So do you have any interested or the working together with a foreign partner investor to grow your business in your country, Choco Family business?
Of course, we're always looking for.
What kind of sector and then what kind of business and what kind of investor are you looking for?
So usually we attract money to the whole Chocofamily Holding, not for a specific business. So
Yes.
when we acquire the funds, we tell them how the money is going to be spent across projects and for what purposes. So for currently, yeah, we are always open to partnerships. Like for me in the food delivery service, right now, I think is the most important thing is to have the expertise and to see how other people, other companies manage certain problems. You know, we have some certain problematic areas, and I will always like reach out on LinkedIn to people and ask them how they resolve it. But however, LinkedIn was blocked recently in Kazakhstan. So right now I'm thinking like how I'm going to get the information. Yeah, but yeah, so we're looking, so we do, we acquire funds to the whole Chocofamily Holding.
Do you
Not
have
only-
a foreign investor on the holding company level now?
Right now, no. Right now,
Okay.
no. We have investors from in Kazakhstan, from
I
Kazakhstani
see.
business.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interviewing the investor or CEO of a fund management company every week on the Asian Investor Podcast, another podcast. So yeah, this is the first time for me to learn about the startup in the Kazakhstan. So if I have a chance, I can
Keep
share
us in
with
mind.
them. Yeah,
Keep
I'll
us in
share
mind.
with them. Yeah, I'll share with them. Yeah, very good. So what is the long-term vision? I mean, your business or your group?
So for the Choco family is to build an ecosystem
Mm.
of products and collaborations, maybe other external products, so that our user gets whatever she needs from one source. So right now we are, so as I said, we have like 10 different products, and now we are building our own, let's say, app that represents the product of an ecosystem that has everything inside, something like I guess Grab does in Southeast Asia, or Gojek.
Gojek.
Yeah, and we are building this ecosystem because we understand that this cross usage of products is beneficial for everyone. Yeah, for every project. And like as I say, like this is my way of saying is that the home screen of our phones, it's a real estate. It's a very expensive real estate, and in order your app to be on their home screen, you know, you have to be very good, you know, so that people will move you to the home screen, you know, like that tower building that they have, they are located in a very expensive land. So in order, you know, so there will be more and more apps coming. So how you can stay relevant on the user's phone, let's say now, right, when they really need you, in order to need you, you have to give them almost everything. So that's why ecosystem is very important.
Yeah.
And from the terms of food delivery, it's a very controversial topic. Like yesterday, I was reading an article. I mean, it's from Russia. So there's always, you know, like discussions, disputes about whether food aggregators, they have a sustainable business model, because sooner or later, the bigger restaurant chains, McDonald's, KFC, and the rest, they will move to their own delivery, and then the food aggregators become irrelevant. But on the other side, we say that no, we are going to stay relevant because the users get everything from one source. And if we are, as food aggregators, able to optimize our costs, have very effective business models, then the business is sustainable. So
Yes.
I think it's a, you know, like only time will show how this will go. But our philosophy in our project is that we have partners, right? We have riders, the couriers, and the restaurants, and we want to build this win-win environment where everyone can benefit. So when the partners see the value of the platform, when riders, of course, they can earn extra money. And, you know, like 80% of our riders, they will work kind of full time, you know, on our platform, and they have more than, they earn more than the average in the market. So we are building this win-win situation where everyone feels good.
Yeah. Sounds great. So what is the population of Kazakhstan now?
18 million.
18 million. Wow.
18.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very small
But it's,
population. Small
yeah.
population for a huge country, right? Huge territory.
Yes, we are very privileged to have this amazing land for
Right.
ourselves.
You know, the Seoul metropolitan area, that only 20 million, I think. Yeah, so natural. Seoul itself, 10 million metropolitan areas. People commute within. I mean, there a day, and then there's something
You know
like
what's
20 million.
really like interesting what's happening? Like before, most of the companies they would go to, like big countries, like
Mm,
China or to Indonesia, India. But nowadays, as I mean, Kazakhstan, even with its 18 million population, is attractive,
yeah.
attractive for investors and for
Yeah, and 20 million is a sizable population. Not many country. Only a list of country has more than 20 million population in the world. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But the Kazakhstan is blessed with a lot of natural resources and huge land, right?
Yes, we have everything from the periodic table, as we say, from the
Mm, yes.
periodic table, and yes, as I said, like we are blessed with the country that we have,
Mm,
and hopefully that we could develop this country sustainably, and also uh, adopt clean energy, and diverse our portfolio, from not only from the natural resources but only to human capital.
yes. Yeah. So Choco Family first company I interviewed from the Central Asia. So it's my honor. Thank you very
Thank you.
much. Yeah, thank you very much for introducing the interesting story of your group and your company.
Thank you for having me again.
Thank you. Let me finish